Hello.
Hello.
That's it.
That's
all
it.
I got. Hello, live from
isn't
North
all you
America's
got.
favorite Woke Data Wednesday. It's Woke Data Wednesday here at Business Pants Prep School. Joined as always by Emma, post-COVID lurking. Are you officially post-COVID?
I'm calling it. I'm calling myself post. I'm sick of being mid, so I think I'm post.
Wait, you have a negative test? You've tested negatively, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, post-COVID, Emma lurking, post-COVID.
Yes.
And that's it. There's nobody else here. You know what? We forgot to invite Ari, the data queen, today. We could have. We forgot.
Ari, Damien forgot you. It was really rude of him, and he's sorry.
We forgot you.
No.
I'm yellow today. I got this horrible yellow hoodie on because it's cold outside here in Maine.
You love your
Portland,
yellow
Maine.
hoodie, though.
Kind of hate it, actually. In today's red onion-filled bag of non-abrasive nuggets, the reason why I hate it because in the ad it looked super bright and it just I don't know. The ad was very misleading.
That's a pastel yellow. Yeah,
I know, but I wanted something more.
I understand.
Not very more.
We'll get you a better yellow sweatshirt.
June 22nd, 2022. Yet another alternative democracy roundup here at Business Pants, and yet another stakeholders roundup. Are you going to talk about stakeholders news? Cool.
That I am.
Do you think you're officially now an ESG expert junior?
So I think it depends on your definition. I think that you and Matt would say probably yes. I think that everyone else would say no.
Who is everyone else?
All the people who, wear ties and stuff.
You don't even think they give you
an office and
they wouldn't even give you junior credentials? Not even junior?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, sad.
I think they're harsh.
Here we go.
All right.
This is our alternative democracy proxy vote roundup. This is Matt's least favorite segment, so I'm glad he's missing it today.
I like this segment, so
I'm going to bore you with it. Once again, every Wednesday, I look at roughly, I would say between 50 and 100 voting filings for public corporations here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Often I just pick them because either they're a big company or because I like the way the name sounds.
I think those are perfectly good reasons. Those would also probably be my reasons.
I open up the voting results and I look for anomalies. I look for abnormalities because I am an ESG expert extraordinaire and I have the ability to detect abnormalities in meetings.
No junior tacked onto that title.
No one's better at this than me, ever.
Yeah, you're saying it, and it's actually true.
Well, because no one else probably does this.
Oh, yeah, that's also true.
Yeah. So for all of our friends at all of our favorite companies, BlackRock, Glass Lewis, MSCI, whatever, Sustainalytics, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Burger King, call me for help.
They
with
don't
this
want
very
you to
task.
be looking. No one is calling you. They are actively hoping no one looks at them, and you are. You're a problem.
Here we go. PavMed Inc. That's the first one. PavMed. PaveMed?
Okay.
PavMed? I don't know.
I would go PavMed based on the spelling.
Here's why I picked this one. Every once in a while, companies have this frequency of say-on-pay vote where they decide whether they're going to look at say-on-pay. They're going to have a say-on-pay vote every 3 years, every 2 years, every 1 year. I don't get it. Of course, it should be every year. I don't know what we're doing here, people. But at PavMed, they voted overwhelmingly to look at it once every 3 years.
Overwhelmingly.
And why does this matter? Because I looked at PavMed. PavMed? PavMed?
I'm Pav.
And here's what's going on. The CEO and chair, LaShawn Acklog, he's not only is he paid through PavMed, he's also paid through Lucid, the company's majority-owned subsidiary. He gets a salary and bonus for both. He gets hundreds of thousands of shares and options at both. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm just saying it's unusual. Yeah. It's an unusual stream of money. He ended up with $9.3 million last year. The CFO got $8.3 million. And the next highest paid executive at the company was the chief medical officer with only $600,000.
I feel like they're usually, I don't know. And of course, I'm sure you can prove me wrong, but
No, I'm not
I
going
feel
to.
like there's usually a discrepancy when it comes from the CEO and the CFO to the other
Yes.
named
Well, but this is
executives.
pretty large.
But that's
This is pretty large.
big. No, it
Yeah.
is big.
It's a drop off of 8.3 million to 600,000. And I looked at the
Yeah.
compensation committee. It's a lot of his friends.
Of
So
course.
here's what I'm trying to say: is that
What are
there's
you
some
trying to say?
complicated stuff going on here. Some of it might be bogus,
Okay.
and maybe shareholders should have the opportunity to look at it annually and and vote on it. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I do not disagree with you even
Okay,
a little
all
bit.
I'm not really asking for your opinion, but I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll give it
Um,
anyway.
Moving on. Pebblebrook Hotel Trust.
What, Davian?
Pebblebrook Hotel Trust.
I heard
Have
you. I'm confused about the choice.
Have you ever stayed at any hotel called Pebblebrook? Because I've stayed at a lot of hotels. I'm a level 3 genius at Booking.com.
You're calling yourself a genius a lot today.
They call me a level 3 genius. I don't know why they call me that, but I've booked a lot of hotels.
All right,
I
I'm
like
gonna need to know
hotels.
who-
I've
I
never heard
need-
of Pebblebrook Hotel. I don't know what the hell
No,
it is.
never.
Here's
No.
what's going on there. 80% of voters said no to say on pay. No. They're mad. 80%. That's a big number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a big number. How much were they getting paid?
Okay, good question. Here's why I think it happened. The top 3 executives each received a very bogus special retention award having to do with COVID, where they were throwing extra
So-
money at them so they won't quit. It's clearly bogus, clearly stupid. Where are they going? Who are they quitting? Where are they going?
I like
Come on.
how it's not. I feel like, honestly, if they hadn't added the special onto it, it almost would have been less suspicious. But it could have just called it a retention bonus, but they're like, no, this is a special retention bonus. And that
Yeah.
raises a red flag to my stupid little brain, you know?
I don't like retention bonuses either, because
Retention bonuses, I would like to talk about retention bonuses
Yes.
at length at some point that is not now, so we don't bore people
not
to
today.
death.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm interested in retention bonuses as a thing. It just feels like a way to throw extra money at people.
By the way, I like doing the show with you when you're in this location because there's lots of beautiful doors behind you.
Doors.
I'm jealous. Those are
Yeah,
more beautiful
gaze at-
doors than I have in my entire home.
Gaze
All
at
right,
my
moving
doors. Yes.
Next one is a big one, big company, Zoom.
Oh, that is a big company.
Yeah, their actual name is Zoom Video Communications. I don't like that name. Zoom Video
ZVC.
Communications. Yeah. Here's what happened. Nothing really special happened.
Oh, okay.
But I will tell you this: 15% of voters voted against Director Carl Eschenbach. It's not a lot. It's enough. You know, you'll get a flag at certain ESG research companies, but it's not huge. It's a little bit. Here's why: because he
Okay.
sits on 5 other boards and is also a general partner at Sequoia Capital. So this is what's called overboarded.
That's a
he's
lot.
Yeah, he's way too busy to be on this board. And
He's
Zoom's,
overboarded, if
yes,
you will.
and Zoom shareholders should not accept this. But they did something I don't think I've ever seen before, and I've looked at way too many proxies in my life, and that is that they preempted the overboarding concern by coming up with a bunch of bullshit excuses of why it doesn't matter right in the proxy. They said, we know that some of you nerds are going to think that he's overboarded, but here's why we don't care. And here's some of the stupid answers they came up with. One was that, I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. Eschenbach is consistently prepared and has exemplary participation at meetings.
More prepared. Is this not the second director who's been?
Yes,
Well,
he's-
the other one I think was
He's very well
actually-
prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone likes people that are prepared. Great
Yeah.
to know.
And this is demonstrated by his insightful questions and comments.
Oh my god. They
So-
did not write that.
Yeah, they did. So I got 2 things I want to say. First of all,
Okay.
prove it. No, I got 3 things. First of all, prove it. Second of all, this is implying that there are people who aren't well prepared.
Can we get like
Right.
video or transcription or video evidence of these meaningful contributions he made?
Yes. And
That's what
third
I'm
of
looking
all, considering he's making several $100,000s a year for this position,
Yep.
isn't this his job there to ask
Yeah.
insightful questions and have comments to be prepared?
Yeah. I think that's a bare
Okay.
minimum of most jobs, to be honest.
Yeah.
be prepared and ask questions.
They also said that he's served tirelessly on the board for over 5 years, and that he has assured the board that he is fully committed to continuing to dedicate the appropriate amount of time to fulfill his duty. So he's promised them that he can do the job. That's their excuse to why you should vote for me. He promised
said so.
them. He told them.
When we talked to Carl said that he could do it,
Exactly.
and we believe him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that, sadly, I think this worked because more people should have voted against him, and only 15% voted against him. So there you go. I guess it worked.
Well, also, I like tirelessly because I'm not a level 3 genius on proxies the way that Damien is, but I've looked at a few in my day, and boards meet. I think I'm surprised when boards meet more than 10 times a year total.
Yeah. I don't believe it anyway. Everybody gets tired, so I don't know what that even means.
Yeah.
No, really, like I don't when people tell me things like that, I know you're full of it. Or you just don't have a good grasp of the English language.
Or reality.
Let's move on. Biogen.
Ooh,
Biogen.
Okay.
Here's what I learned about Biogen. I think nobody's happy at Biogen. That's what I learned.
I would believe it based on the name of the company alone.
Well, here, okay. No director received more than 90% of the vote, that's pretty rare. Everyone got at least 10% against. And Sam Pay, the vote on executive pay barely passed. Only 52% said yes. And why? I'm guessing because shareholders are not happy with the stock price. I think it's that simple. The stock price continues to go down, and I think sometimes they vote their displeasure with this. I guess they're greedy, and that's the one thing that makes them upset, and they vote against everybody.
Well, I would imagine that the only thing... It makes a certain level of sense to me that the only thing that would make this a reality is them being unhappy with the stock price.
Sure?
Yeah. I mean, people don't like to change stuff when there are actual problems, but when the stock price is low, people freak out.
I guess, but, it reminds me in that scary way that people think that's the only important thing about a company is its stupid share price.
I think that is the only thing that most people care about.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Except for us, I guess?
I think except for us, yeah.
Moving on, the company is called Parts ID. Parts ID. Again, nobody's happy at Parts ID. No director... Yeah, go ahead.
Do we know what Parts ID does?
No idea. I could have looked it up, and I was too lazy.
We don't want to. Okay, excellent. Keep going.
People are really unhappy here. No director received more than 56% of the vote. So they all basically almost got voted out. And again, same old boring story. The stock price just keeps going down. Just keeps going down.
Oh, I'm really sorry that I didn't pay too much attention to what you just said because I just looked up what Parts ID is and it wasn't worth looking it up. It wasn't.
It's
a technology-driven digital commerce company focused on creating custom infrastructure and unique user experiences within niche markets.
Okay, I don't know what that means. So maybe it's Parts ID? ID? Could it be ID?
It's lowercase I, capital D.
Well, what does that mean? And what does that mean, lowercase I, capital D?
I have no earthly idea.
Isn't that an emoticon? Emoticon? Isn't that like a winking, smiling? Okay, anyway.
Almost. Honestly, it's almost. It's
it
close.
is almost.
I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Sage Therapeutics.
Okay, sounds good.
Another win for shareholders. 57% of shareholders said no to executive pay. No, they're angry.
37.
No.
Wow.
57.
Oh, 57. Wow.
And I hate to remind you, Emma. Of course, these votes are not binding. They should be. They're just advisory votes. Unlike in Europe, companies here in America can ignore shareholders. I have no idea why they even bother voting.
Yeah,
but
you didn't need to remind me of that. Thanks, Dan.
Here's why I think CEO Barry Green received an obnoxiously large golden hello bonus worth almost $60 million in options.
I like the phrase golden hello. I just thought I'd call that out. And
I just wanted to remind CEO Barry Green, since I know you're listening, that when you became CEO on December 15th, 2020, the stock price was $71. Today it's $35. So I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on, Barry Green.
Maybe they don't. I mean, I think that we just completely flipped our other sentiment on its head apparently they don't care as much about the stock price, it would seem.
Oh no, I think no, they do because they voted against his pay. They're against him. They're mad at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yes.
I was just wanted to tell Barry why people might hate you. And finally, let's wrap it up with the big one. Activision Blizzard. Here we go.
Here we go.
And I will say this: there's so many people now mad at corporations for being woke and blah 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 blah. And I looked through about 80 companies today. There were no woke shareholder proposals at any of them. This is the only company that had anything remotely considered woke, even though not sexually harassing and assaulting your employees is not woke. Actually, it's basic human rights. So you can shut up anyway.
Correct.
So here we go. Activision Blizzard.
Yes.
This is the big one.
Yeah. I'm nervous.
First of all, Emma, 89% of shareholders said yes to Bobby Kotick. Why so many? I don't understand that.
Is he really that good at making money? Like, is he actually good at that?
I guess so. I guess this is all about money, right? I guess
why
what
are
they so happy with him?
Yeah, I guess what I'm curious about is he actually good enough at his job for people to bypass the PR nightmare?
Well, isn't that part of your job? Isn't that part of your job?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, you're focusing on the money part of it, but that's just one thing a leader does, right?
But it's once again the only thing that people seem to care about, which is the only reason I can conceive of as to why they would keep him there, given the PR nightmare he has been.
The other one, Robert Morgado, we talked a lot about here with Matt. He's the lead independent director who's barely independent and who I know that Glass Lewis wanted him out, and Activision Blizzard was very passionate in trying to keep him, and he did get enough votes to stay on the board. He only got 72% saying yes, so people are mad, but he's staying around. For some reason, Seon Pay, executive pay passed without too much trouble, so... Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know why they're happy. I don't know what they're happy with.
No.
Here's another one. There was a stockholder proposal regarding the nomination of an employee representative to the board.
Right. Yes.
Right. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Putting an employee representative. This happens quite frequently in certain parts of Europe. I think it should absolutely happen here in the U.S. This seems like a no-brainer to me. Yeah. Only 5% of shareholders said yes to this.
5? Damn, that sucks.
I just don't. I just can't comprehend. We have a lot of brilliant listeners. Somebody reach out to us somehow. LinkedIn, however you like to. Tell us why. Why wouldn't this be supported? This just seems like an easy one. This is like an easy 20.
They don't. It's one. I mean,
first century.
Putting an employee that isn't in the C-suite in a position of relative power, and that's obviously
what's
no
the big
good
deal?
for anyone.
What's the big deal? I don't
I
get
think
why.
that the reason that we are excited about it is why it is a big deal to other people, because it opens the door. It cracks.
But how could you really? How can you say no to this? You're just an employee representative on the board. I mean, how? In what way could that cause a hindrance?
Because then you actually have to hear. I feel like they're hands over their ears and eyes. La 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 la. We don't see it. We don't understand. And if they actually have someone in front of them,
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Serve their egos.
So again, only 5% said yes to this, and across the board, these proposals always get slammed. Nobody likes these except for us. And finally, the big one at Activision Blizzard, there was a proposal regarding the preparation of a report about the company's efforts to prevent abuse, harassment, and discrimination. This is what we've been talking about for over a year now. And the good news here, Emma, finally we have some good news, is that nearly 2/3 of shareholders said yes to this. So there's going to be a report, at least, it's not binding, but I'm sure they will listen to shareholders here. And I wanted to give some credit here to at least one group fighting for this. Glass Lewis, I know, recommended that shareholders vote for this. They also issued a controversy alert about Activision Blizzard. So Glass Lewis proving that you can get involved on the side of good and sway matters in the right direction. See, they're proving their power, and I'm applauding their power. because
Glass Lewis does some
yeah,
stuff sometimes.
they
You know
do
what I
some
mean?
stuff sometimes, and
They
I
do.
wanted to highlight it. But again, I want to remind Glass Lewis that you don't have to do it just to Activision Blizzard. You don't have to wait for a horrendous scandal to do these things. You can do other little cool things elsewhere. I'm not suggesting that they're regularly dropping the ball. I don't know what I'm actually talking
They
about.
could
I don't know
also
what I'm talking about.
be preventative, potentially. You know, don't have
Yeah.
to do it once the controversy
Yeah,
hits
right. We
necessarily.
can get
You
these
can do it
reports
in
regularly.
advance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Thank you.
it'd be
Thank you.
great.
And really, I keep saying Glass Lewis because I hope they're going to send me a check for saying their name a lot,
Yeah.
or like a 6-pack of Diet Coke, just something.
Yeah, Damon will take anything. He tries to
Yeah,
get.
actually, Coke Zero. I want Coke Zero.
You like to jinx me over Slack and then
Yeah.
demand a Coke Zero from me.
Coke
so
Zero.
I think absolutely. All right.
All right, that's
you
it.
done?
That's all I have. The alternative democracy roundup. Emma, take it away.
Excellent.
Yes.
Moving on to our second roundup of the day, which is our stakeholder roundup.
Yes, somebody has to
Damien
cover
talks
this.
about shareholders. I'm talking about stakeholders. It's really beautiful here today. So I'm going to start off with what I was psyched to wake up to this morning, which was Beyonce's Break My Soul, her new song that she released yesterday, is a sign the great resignation has seeped into the zeitgeist, according to a labor economist.
Whoa. Okay.
So I feel the need to acknowledge out of the gate that I do see the irony of starting off a stakeholder roundup with a billionaire or like a billionaire adjacent person, you know. But that being said, some of the lyrics, and I think some of the in the first verse of the song, I feel the need to share some of the lyrics with you. She says, "And I just quit my job. I'm gonna find a new drive. Damn, they work me so damn hard. Work by 9, then off past 5. They work my nerves, and that's why I cannot sleep at night." And, you know, she's Beyonce, so I feel that she is not relatable in almost any way.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
pretty
say.
relatable.
I
feel
guess
that.
how do you feel? How do you feel about this? Like her singing about working 9 to 5 and
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a little weird to me. And
it's a little weird.
something about the fact that I mean, of course, like, she is a black woman and has experienced depression in many ways, you
I'm
know.
sure she still does.
Absolutely. But she has not worried about money since she was 18 years old. You know, she's married to Jay-Z, who is hypothetically a bona fide billionaire, and she herself is worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
So it is interesting. And so this is what leads me to my slight conspiracy theory, which of course, there's always a conspiracy theory with me.
Yeah.
Slash a prediction. This also could go down as a prediction too.
Okay.
My conspiracy theory is that Beyonce is anticipating that the growing labor movement isn't really going anywhere, and every movement needs a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's hoping that this will be the new anthem for like the Great Resignation era, which is also funny because that is applying a capitalist viewpoint.
Well, of course, yes.
You know, she's profiting off of the song that people are using to proliferate a labor movement. I don't know.
I was gonna ask earlier, like, when you commodify your art so much, like Jay-Z and Beyonce, is there a point when you stop becoming an artist? Like, we don't have to. We can say this for another show, but that's what I was wondering. Like, she still gets to be an artist, right? Is she still an artist? I guess?
I've been reading other stuff about how she's bringing back like house music and disco, and
she's bringing it back.
Yeah.
Because I don't think is it gone completely? Is
disco?
Disco's
gone. Definitely kind of gone.
Yeah.
But I can see a revival. I mean, you know, we're about to enter a recession. The last like big one was in the 70s, and you know, except for I'm thinking about like 70s era recession and like disco coming out of that, et cetera, et cetera. No one cares. That being said, the guy, one last thing. One last thing. The guy who was talking about this phenomena was saying that it's one instance of broader public awareness or discussion about people quitting their jobs, which is reflective of what's happening in the labor market and society. That being said, the fact that it is Beyonce doing the talking here is something very interesting to consider to me.
And I guess a bigger question is it just a coincidence?
Is it
Is
just
she
a
just
coincidence?
writing a crummy song? I mean, to be fair, the
I
only
sort
lyrics.
of don't think so, to
Yeah.
be honest. I
Okay.
don't really think that anyone does at that scale is coincidence. I think it is all heavily planned and strategized, to be honest. But it would be weird if, and also it makes sense with her career trajectory. Like, she's really a mature artist with like an enormous solid fan base where she can
Sure.
kind of do whatever she wants. So this is what she chose to do. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Number 2, a former Tesla worker rejects a $15 million payout, which was awarded
Oh.
following claims of racial abuse. So,
Okay.
Owen Diaz and his lawyer turned down this payout, and they cited their belief that the award was unfair and not enough to mitigate racial abuse at Tesla,
Sure.
which is interesting. That is one of their criteria. It's not
Yeah.
just getting this guy paid for his personal experiences. They are trying to condemn and, halt any further racial abuse at Tesla.
Yeah, it's barely a slap on the wrist, the $15 million.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, keep in mind that the original payout was supposed to be $137 million.
That's right. I was
Yeah.
trying to think, like, because I remember, I didn't know if it was a different case, but I thought this was a
Right.
much more significant
No,
award.
it's the same
Yeah.
case, and it got
Right.
slashed to 15 from 137.
I don't like
And
all this slashing. Stop slashing things.
stop slashing stuff. And this means they're going back to court. So we're going to get some more Tesla,
Okay.
Elon,
Oh, God.
infighting about this case.
Yeah.
So
Well, good luck,
something to-
Owen Diaz. I hope they don't manage to, like, screw you out of all of it.
We are rooting for you, Owen Diaz,
Yeah.
in a big way. We are your biggest fans. All right, and finally, number
Yes.
3. More than 1,300 Southwest pilots protested about pay and conditions outside a Dallas terminal despite soaring temperatures.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
so Damien and I were actually talking about the heat wave yesterday. There's a huge heat
Yeah.
wave going on in most parts of the country right now, except for the Northeast.
Not Portland, Maine. Yeah.
No, not Boston, Massachusetts either, I can confirm. And it was about 100 degrees when they were outside picketing, and they
Sure.
were all in their full pilot's outfits, like long pants,
Right.
the shirt, the hat, the whole thing. It looked kind of miserable. But this is a protest, not a strike, but it was organized by a
Interesting.
union that represents
Okay.
about 10,000 Southwest pilots.
Uh-huh.
And they are currently in the middle of contract negotiations that have not made much progress. So while they haven't voted on a strike yet, that is something that could potentially happen.
Okay. Yeah. Like it.
And I looked, there was a link to
Mm-hmm.
the union website, and they had posted 6 reasons for their protest. And I'm
Okay.
going to make Damien take a little mini quiz, because it's not an episode of Business Pants without a little quiz of
Sweet.
some sort.
Sweet.
And I'm going to quiz you on 3 of them. Are you ready? This is just open answer.
I'm so ready.
Okay. Thank you for the music change. I like it. Number 1. When was the last time Southwest Airlines updated their maternity leave policy in a meaningful way, according to the union? What year?
I don't have any. I have no facts to support this, but Southwest to me seems like stuck in an older era. There's something about it. Something the way the CEO, some of the things that he says, and some of his like weird COVID philosophies. And so
Truly.
I'm gonna say that this is like, it's been a while. I'm gonna go like 1992 or something, like old.
Try to decide.
Oh.
Yeah, no. You're not so far off,
Yeah.
but I'm pausing your music. It's too
Aw.
loud.
Love that
Okay.
music.
You're not so far off, but it was 1984.
Okay, but you get my point. I kind of
Yeah, no,
nailed
it was a
the
long-ass
idea.
time ago.
I
If
was
you were
actually
within-
thinking the 80s, but I thought that would be too much. I thought that was like too
Right.
ridiculous.
Right. And if you
Yeah.
had been within 5 years, I would have given it to you, I think is where I was landing on that.
Look,
But yeah.
I'm quite a bit older than you. What you don't understand is that the period between 1980 and 1992 is the Reagan-Bush era. So
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
I'd said anything within that era, I win. So technically I win.
Yeah, you were 8 years off. You're
Okay.
I don't know if I can give that to you
Right.
quite so much. But that being said, yeah, it was 1984, which is almost 40 years
Well, that's
of
sad.
It's ridiculous,
Yeah.
especially considering the fact that, as you can imagine, Southwest Airlines maternity leave policy was probably not excellent in 1984. So.
Actually, it's beyond sad. I'm going to say it's frightening.
It
That's
is
a long
frightening.
time
I
ago.
agree.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
terrified. Number 2, moving on from that terrifying
Yes.
thought. Number 2, how many days have union pilots voluntarily flown on their days off in the last 12 months? Keep
I
in
don't know what that
mind
means. Yeah.
that I'll give you, so there are about 10,000 pilots
Sure.
in this union. They are saying, how many days have union
Total.
pilots on scheduled days off
Yeah.
said, yes, I will fill in for someone,
So
I will
not
fly
like an
today?
average per pilot, but total.
Total.
So there are 10,000 pilots.
Yep.
I mean, that you included it's got to be a big number. And this is troubling already because I don't want my pilots flying on their days off. I want them like laying down.
Me too, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe a little Netflix, but laying down, like rest.
Resting. Yeah.
I'm just gonna just because it's easy multiplication. I'm gonna say 100,000 days. See, I did 10 times 10,000. See that? Just to further the conversation to speed it along. What's that, Mike?
I
Okay.
can't really give that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really give that one to you. If you were within 50,000, I probably would have
Sure.
given it to you, but it is 164,000.
Oh, come on! You're so
Yeah.
mean.
I'm giving you pretty reasonable
Okay,
parameters here.
164,000. That's an
Yeah.
average of 16 days per pilot.
Yep. Yeah,
That's too many. That's a lot.
Doesn't it feel like too many? Imagine
Yeah,
if
it
you were
does.
at work and you had an off day and someone was like, yeah, I know you scheduled this off day. You have to come in.
But that doesn't even happen in a corporate, like in a corporate office.
Yeah,
setting.
no, it's a very unique. Exactly, that's what I'm
Jeez.
saying. Like that's why
Yeah.
the
Damn.
equivalence. Yeah, weird. All right, and finally,
Yes.
number 3. How many days off have Southwest pilots lost due to schedule mismanagement over the last year?
Okay, so the same group of pilots, 10,000
Same group
pilots.
of pilots. Yep.
How many days off have they lost due to schedule mismanagement? I don't even know what that means. How many days off? Oh, so they were forced into work because of schedule mismanagement. How the hell do you
Yes.
miss? Oh, this is depressing.
I
don't
know.
like any
I'm
of
so
this.
sorry.
This is why Southwest always smells like a dirty potato chip bag or I don't know. It smells like something.
A dirty potato chip bag.
I have no idea. I'm gonna stick with my 100,000 number because I don't know what I don't even know. Come on.
That's a big buzz.
Okay. What's the answer?
The answer is 20,000. So it's
That's still zero should be the number we're going for there. Like
right.
there shouldn't be schedule mismanagement. I mean, there
So
should be a
there-
way of just figuring this out.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's about 2 days a year, and I'm sure, more pilots experience it than others, so that's not the truth. But if you were to average it out, it's about 2 days a year that Southwest Airlines is like, oh, sorry, we messed up the schedule. You have to work. You weren't supposed
And
to.
again, like I worked quite a bit in restaurants when I was younger, and I don't even think that happened. I mean, I think they
There's definitely, as someone who has also worked in a restaurant, there's definitely like
But they
a
figured it out
pressure. There's like a
eventually.
pressure when someone, when your manager is like, can you come in today? So and so is sick or whatever. There's definitely a pressure to come in and be helpful and do whatever. But I can't imagine as a pilot, by the way, because you're flying all the time. You're not at home. You're not in. I can't even imagine. It sounds horrible.
I think
That
what
being-
Emma's trying. I think what Emma's trying to say is that if you're making several $1 million as the CEO of an airline company, you should be able to figure out the schedules and days off of your pilots.
You would think.
Get your
Or
pilots,
hire more pilots, train more pilots.
Sure, that would work
and
too.
pay them enough so
Yeah, but why
that
don't you
everyone
figure
can
out your
get where they need to go.
pilots? Figure out your pilots. That's what she's saying. She wants you to figure out your pilots.
I would like people to figure out their pilots.
I have an idea. How about an employee representative to the board? Maybe someone from the pilots union who can sit there and be tireless and well prepared and ask insightful questions. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
It might work. Okay, that's all.
And with that, that's all I got.
Cool.
And Damien doesn't do outros because it makes him uncomfortable, so that's my job. That was Business Pants. I am Emma Lurking. That was Damien Rawlis. Matt is a no good vacationer who abandoned us. I had a real reason for abandoning you as I was ill. So screw you, Matt. We will see you tomorrow. Sorry, Matt, not screw you. We will see you tomorrow
No,
for
screw you.
some Thursday nonsense. We will see
What
you then.
happens on Thursday? Oh, we do. Speaking of Thursday, what do we do? Oh, we do quizzes and games and more games and quizzes.
Yeah,
and
it's games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been a little light on the games this week, so it's good to have
Yeah, we
some
gotta get
games
Ari
coming.
involved with some games. Yeah.
Truly. And we will see you tomorrow for those games we speak of. Bye-bye.